When I started my YouTube channel, I realized that in the morning and evening were often the best times for me to make videos. And in order to make that happen, I needed some lighting. Today we talk about lighting and how to build a cheap LED lighting kit. Let's get into it. Hey, it's Brock with Conversing and Stuff, and today we're going to talk about LED lighting. And when I decided that I needed to supplement my kit with some external lights, there was a couple of criteria I had. I wanted to make sure that they were dimmable, so I didn't have to worry about diffusers, filters, and things like that of dimming the light down. And the second thing is I wanted to make sure that they all use the standard battery. And the good thing about these LED lights, especially affordable ones, they all use the same Sony batteries and they are all dimmable. So the first light that I purchased was the Neewer CN160. This is a very popular light on YouTube. These go for about 22 bucks each on Amazon. Kit of 2 with softboxes, stands, batteries, chargers, and a case for 100 bucks. What I like about this light is it seems to be pretty durable. I've packed 2 of them on an East Coast trip and around Europe for a couple weeks, and they survive just fine. These are unique that they take AA batteries, which is pretty cool. And this has a nice dimmer that you can press, and it gives you 1 to 4 where your battery life is, which is great. What I don't like about these lights is that getting the lights in and out can be a pain. You need to have the battery at a certain angle, which can be a bit of a pain. The other thing I don't like is the on-off switch is built into the dimmer. So if you need to take a break and shut off the light, it's hard to figure out where you were on the brightness level, because a lot of times you just want to set and forget these. So I find myself popping out the battery and putting it back in so I can. The other thing that I dislike about these is it's kind of got a cheap mount here. It's a hot shoe tripod / stand mount. And yeah, it's just cheapo. It's got 4 little screws. I feel like that if that gets broken off, then the light is fairly useless. But besides that, it's a great little light. It seems to work just fine. The second light I bought, which I just bought as a single, is the Neewer PT176S. So theoretically, it's got 16 more LEDs, so it's a little bit brighter. Great thing about this light is it's a little bit sleeker. It's quite a bit slimmer than the 160, as you can see here. The other great thing about the 176 is it has an AC input, so you can plug in power and not always have to worry about the battery. Also, this one does not take AA's. It just takes the Sony MP batteries. The other great thing about this is that when you press this button and you have a battery in it, it'll show you how much battery you have left in it, as well as when you turn the light on, it shows you a level of brightness, which is great. So you can change the battery and always make sure that you're putting out the same amount of light if you take a break, whereas the 160 has a switch built into the dimmer. So this is fairly similar performance to the 160, but in a little sleeker package. These go for about 25 bucks on Amazon. I would prefer this over the 160 just because of the AC adapter, the dimmable, and it's just a little bit slimmer. The last light I'm going to talk about is the Neweer 660. This is very similar to a 1x1 light panel, except a little bit smaller. It operates in dual colors. So it's got alternating rows of LEDs between tungsten and daylight. If you crank both of them, you are using the full power, but the color temperature is somewhere in the middle. These take 2 Sony MP batteries. It can operate out of 1, but if you use 2 of them, it'll last quite a bit longer. It's got AC input, and there is no battery light on this particular model to tell how much battery you have left in it. One of the things I should say about all the lights is that with these modern cameras, I'm shooting on a Sony a7 III, they're all pretty much bright enough to do the task. So my house is real small. I never find myself in a situation where I need to light a huge room. So all these lights are bright enough to shoot what I'm shooting. Now, that being said, the 660, the light panel, is so much easier to set up. It's about 4 times the size of one of these little guys. so it puts out more light, so it's much easier to adjust. This light panel goes for about 80 bucks on Amazon, so comparative to some of the professional stuff, it's still great value. So in short, I have 2 of the 160s, I have 1 of the 176s, and I have 1 of the light panels. If I was to do this again, I would probably buy 2 of the 660 panels with stands, and then 2 of the 176Ss. So I could have a key, a fill, the 2 larger lights, and then a couple of these for kind of whatever I wanted to use them for. Before I had the light panel, I often found that it was hard to get a good kind of soft light using one of these. So what I would do is I would stack 2 of these lights on separate stands, and then you can buy these filter kits that, this is a good example of one. This is a Neweer branded one. They fold up into a smaller package, but these come with gold, there's a white reflector, and then there's also this diffuser panel. And what I found was with a couple of these 160s stacked and shining them through this white diffuser made a really nice softbox. So don't be afraid to get creative with lights. In reality, these small lights do a great job. The LED panel makes it a little bit easier, but all in all, you can use any combination of these to improve the quality of your video. Thanks for watching, and thanks to the folks who are leaving comments and sending me emails. I appreciate the feedback. And in the comments below, let me know what type of lights and fixtures you're using for your YouTube studio and in the field. I'm curious what you're using and how it's working out for you.